right, everybody, make sure you go ahead and type into the chat space and let us know your city and state or country that you're chiming in from. Let us know your city and state or country that you're chiming in from. My name is Taria Vision Avant, and we have 22 seconds before we get started with today's Wealthy Wednesday. And so I am so excited to have you guys here. Again, go ahead and put in the chat where you guys are chiming in from so that we can definitely shout you out. I am so excited to have you guys here. Thrilled. I cannot wait for our interview on today. Well, hello everybody, Taria Vision Avant here, and I am so happy and grateful because today is Wednesday, and that means that it is Wealthy Wednesday, and this is an opportunity where we interview authors. As you guys know, we are here to help authors that are speakers and coaches, but we interview authors from all over the world, all over the nation, who are doing some tremendous things. They're leveraging their books, but most importantly, they're using their books to inspire the masses, right? And today we have another incredible interview, and I cannot wait for this interview. But listen, I'm going to do some house cleaning rules. First and foremost, do me a favor. If you guys are watching, go ahead in the chat. We're live right now. It is live. We're Wednesday, March the 15th. If you're watching us live, go ahead and put in the chat live. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay. What that does do, guys, is when you're watching these videos and you do comment, it does help us. And so one of the biggest ways that you can pay it forward is to celebrate this by communication. Just a little communication, because the algorithm says if people are commenting, then we're going to make sure that more people see this. Another thing is, if you are an author, if you're a speaker, if you're a coach, if you're in the network marketing space and you really want to be able to take your businesses to the next level, I encourage you guys to stay plugged in. We have some great announcements that are coming up. So thank you guys so much. I see Dr. Kamika, game related on YouTube. What's going on? Yes, we are live. Welcome. Guys, y'all go ahead and type into the chat, because sometimes people don't think we live. So make sure you type into the chat because we are here live. All right, y'all. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. I am going to introduce you guys to the incredible speaker of today. So let's get it. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Suzanne Peters, who is the CEO of Woman to Woman Academy, a personal development company for women. She specializes in training ambitious individuals to leverage their voice and their story to create an income and impact they want so they can live their best life. She grew up in the Caribbean island of Trinidad and Tobago, and at the age of 28, she left her corporate job to begin her entrepreneurial journey. Unfortunately, her business failed, leaving her bankrupt, where she lost everything, became depressed and suicidal. But Suzanne heard someone's story and it inspired her to not give up. She decided that she would figure out a way, find a way to transform her own life, and she did. Now she is sharing how to do that with others. Suzanne now boldly shares her story with the world and is on a mission to impact the lives of 1 million women worldwide. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Suzanne Peters. So hello, darling. How are you doing on today?
Hi, I am great. I am so excited to be here today. You made my bio sound so good.
Girl, it was nice. I mean, it was powerful, honey. You put us on a little roller coaster. You know what? I always like to hear the good and the bad, because a lot of times in a lot of people's bios, when I'm reading them, they only put the positive, right? And the truth is that's not life. Especially, child, I can relate, honey. When you talked about you left your job to start your journey of entrepreneurship, honey, I done did that way too many times. I used to have I wish you would today attitude when I would go into work, because I'd be like, you don't even know I'm about to quit this job and get rich. And if you say the wrong thing, I'm going to quit soon. But let me ask you this. Coming from Trinidad and Tobago, which, by the way, you know, I love me some Trinidad and Tobago. How did you get into this space of always wanting to be an entrepreneur? I know we didn't get the full detail of how you got to where you are today in regards to the mindset, but how did you get here to the space where you said, you know what, I want to be an entrepreneur and I'm going to make this work?
Girl, I have wanted to be an entrepreneur for so long. When I was 21, I started my first business, which was a hair shop. I had a family member who lived abroad and she would shop for me. At the time, I did government contracts working in a government building. So I would save my money and I would send money for her and she would shop and buy these different hair for me because back in those days, I mean, I'm young. I loved doing my hair and doing other people's hair. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to open a hair shop, and this hair shop is going to get so big I'm going to be able to resign from my job. That was my first business, and that was just the start. But I always felt like I wanted to do more than just go to work every day, come home tired, and then do it all again tomorrow. I just always saw myself as being able to do so much more. And I think that came from growing up in a home where we weren't rich, we weren't completely poor, but there were many times we didn't have food to eat. So I saw the way my parents struggled to raise my sisters and I was just determined not to live like that. So the mindset of an entrepreneur has always been there. It just took me a while to get it right.
I love to say, I love when you said it took me a while to get it right because, Suzanne, unfortunately, with the world of social media, it'll be like someone will pop up out of nowhere and we'll think that they're just like, literally just got started in entrepreneurship yesterday and they're already having success.
Mhm.
And the truth is, even when we look at some of these people who seem like they popped up overnight, they've been working on this for a minute. And so, thank you for sharing that because I think for many of us, and by the way, if anybody in the chat can relate to just feeling like you got that entrepreneur blood in you, but you just figuring out, trying to figure out how to make it happen, I want y'all to go ahead and type relate in the chat because Suzanne, even just like what you said, I used to be the girl. I would always start a new business and quit and start and quit, and like I was working these jobs where there was no way I was going to really build a full career because I was ready to quit every 90 days to start another business. So, what would you say is the difference now? And I know today's topic is the 3 tips to starting that or having that six-figure business. And so we'll get into those tips. But what would you say is
Mhm.
the difference of where you were there then when you first were getting into the space of entrepreneurship versus where you are today to have built a six-figure brand?
Where I was then, I had no one to guide me. I had no leadership. I had no clue what I was doing, but I was willing to step out. I was one of those people who was just ridiculously optimistic. I mean, my family and friends used to get so pissed at me at that point in time because no matter what it was, I would be like, oh, no, what? I can do this. It's going to work out. It's good. So back then, I was simply optimistic. I had no plan. I knew I wanted a better life, but I had no idea as to exactly what that looked like. But now where I am, I got here because I got clarity. I knew exactly what I wanted. I was able to put things in place where I had a blueprint to follow. I was no longer playing the guessing game. I knew exactly what I was doing, what I was working towards. And because I now had that clarity, I was able to I
Make
was
something
able to
happen.
get
Yeah.
without all the twists and turns and ups and downs that I was doing back then. So
Ooh.
yeah.
So that sounds like that's probably getting into one of those tips, and so I'm going to ask you that in a minute.
Mm.
I'm really big on understanding clarity. In fact, I'm a big advocate of scheduling out your life.
Yeah.
Hoping that things are going to work. That is not entrepreneurship. Literally being strategic when it comes to your business, having that clarity, like you said, is so important. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are wanting to build a six-figure business, I think just what Suzanne said, absolutely. One of the first things is having clarity. So talk to me a little bit about these 3 tips or steps that all of us right now need to be following in order to build that 6 to 7 figure business. I say 7 because that's where I'm headed to right now. But 6 and 7 figure business, what are those steps?
Well, just so you know, I will be right behind you, okay? Hot on your heel. Now, Three tips to turn your story into a six-figure business. First of all, let me just say, for as long as I can remember, in my early 20s, after I left my government job, I started to work as an insurance agent. And it was while there in that insurance company that I was exposed to all these motivational speakers and, those type of things got me excited. And I can remember one day just sitting in one of our annual conventions, and there was this speaker on stage, and he was just moving the audience. And the way he would talk, it's like he was doing a dance. And I sat there and I stared at this man literally with my mouth open like this. Because while he was doing that, I was picturing myself on stage speaking like he was speaking, moving the audience. And ever since then, I had it in my mind, oh my goodness, I want to be a motivational speaker. Now, the funny thing is, no one in my family was a motivational speaker, and I didn't know anyone personally that was a motivational speaker, but I had that idea in my mind from that one event, that one stance. Now, it's funny because life would sometimes move you in the direction you are supposed to go, even you are making your own plans. You are trying to do your own stuff and just move on with your life the way you think you want your life to go, right? Now, as it happened, I hope you don't mind, but I just want to give you a little slice of my story here so I can get right into those steps. As life happens, after I left my corporate job to go start my own business, of course, as she said, it didn't work out. But I found myself in a place where I was so depressed. All I could think about was the fact that I didn't want to live anymore. I didn't want to go on. I felt like such a failure. And I can still remember one day coming home and seeing an eviction notice in my door because I now couldn't even afford to pay my rent. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to take my life. I can't take this anymore. I just wanted out. But now, this was when I was in my early 30s. Yes, I'm a lot older now, but in my early 30s, sitting there on the floor, contemplating the best way to take my life. No, I don't know if you all do this. Now, you all can put in the chat if you all can relate. Back then, when I was depressed, I used to listen to some really depressing music. And of course, that is only going to make you feel worse, right? But I did it anyway. So while sitting there, my phone is connected to my neighbor's Wi Fi. Yeah, I own internet. I had to see my neighbor's Wi Fi, and the music is playing and it's going in and out because that's how the Wi-Fi goes when you're stealing your neighbor's Wi-Fi. And the music went out and I started to get up, look for some way to take my life. But just as the Wi-Fi came back and it distracted me because there was this man on the line talking about there's greatness in me. I literally sat there on the floor and just started to laugh. Imagine I am in this depressive state, looking for a way out of this life, wanting to take my life, but trying to find the best way to do it. And up comes this man on the phone talking about there is greatness within you. I started to laugh because there is no way he could have been speaking to me. But like I said, God would find a way to distract you and get your attention when He needs to. The minute He said that, after I laughed, I broke into tears. And my mind went all the way back to when I was a young agent and I first heard Les Brown. And that reminded me of the vision I had for my life back then and how badly I wanted to be a motivational speaker. But that night, I ended up spending my entire night listening to his story. I listened to other people's stories about coming back from the brink and overcoming obstacles. And I realized all these people, they used their story and they were now traveling, they were now speaking, they now had thriving businesses. And I thought to myself, wow, that's amazing. By the time morning came, I was no longer thinking about taking my life. Instead, I got down on my knees, I clasped my hands, and I thank God for not allowing me to take my life. And I promised myself there and then that I would figure it out, and I would find a way to do like them and use my story for good. Now, I had to share that for you to be able to identify with these points I'm about to make. My first tip is no matter what you go through, understand this. Failure is natural, so it's going to happen. Now, that was a hard one for me to digest, especially when your failure seems so big. It's like there's no way anyone else in this world could understand what I was going through. So, if you are in a situation like that, believe me when I say I can relate. Failure is not, it's going to happen. So, what you need to do is like I did, embrace that failure. Understand you are not alone, but with every failure, there's also lessons. Those lessons are there for a reason. That is the second tip. Pull from those lessons. Those lessons weren't given to you by chance. It's not a coincidence. And it's not just for you to go on with your everyday life as if they didn't happen. The key is in the lessons. Yeah, the key is in the lessons. So, third tip. Now, this is where everything is coming together here now. So, I hope you all are still with me. The third tip is to package those lessons. That's all you have to do. Package those lessons, because I can guarantee no matter what you have been through, no matter how hard it seems, no matter how impossible it may seem that other people are actually going through what you did. It doesn't matter what it is. You have some lessons. You have some experiences. You have been through some challenges, some sort of failure that you can now guide those other people through. Now, I don't know if you know this, but the personal development industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. The moment you realize that there's a place in this industry for you, everything will come together. You can literally build a successful business simply helping other people through their challenges. And that's what I did. Those three simple tips, Taria, changed everything for me.
I love it, and thank you so much for even sharing your story. I think it's so important, again, that even in this space where everything is popping on the gram, that we learn that it is okay to share our journey. And one of the things I think that you do the best is you teach other people how to share their journey in a way that leaves them inspired. So in just a minute, we'll be back. We're going to do a quick commercial, but Suzanne is going to talk to us a little bit about her Woman to Woman Academy for all of those ladies who want to be able to learn how to share their story in an inspired way. So let's get to the commercial and we'll be back. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Taria Vision Avant, and we help speakers, coaches, and network marketers who are authors or future authors learn how to leverage their books to generate over $10,000 plus per month, week, or day. Listen, if you're an author and you want to be plugged into an amazing community, I want to highly recommend you go check out Author All Stars. And for those of you who host conferences, podcasts, things of that nature, and you're looking for some dope people to interview, authorallstars.com. If you also want to find out about our amazing annual magazine, authorallstars.com. Go head over to the website once we are done with this interview. Check it out. Trust me, there's a lot to do there. You can also see all of the replays from our Wealthy Wednesdays there as well. So head over to, authorallstars.com. We'll see you guys over there. Deuces. We professional, we have commercials and stuff. But if you want to have a commercial as well on Wealthy Wednesday, or if you want to be a part of this incredible opportunity to share what you do and give tips, this is all about being able to give a wealth of knowledge, not just in money. It is Wealthy Wednesdays. And so, I'm always teaching how to get to the bag, but it's also about having balance. You can't be wealthy if you don't have balance in your mind, body, and spirit, right? And so that's what we talk about here. And you get a chance to meet some incredible men and women from all over the world. And so let's get back into our interview. We have Suzanne Peters here, everybody. Hey, Suzanne, girl. So you
Hey
were just
there.
telling us, you were just telling us, the three tips that you want to give to anybody in regards to getting to that next level of life, having that six figure, to seven figure business. And now we're going to kind of shift gears and talk a little bit about your academy, because one thing, as I was explaining before the break, that you do oh so well is you show other women how to be able to use their story with their voice and inspire and impact people. So if you could tell us a little bit about what Woman to Woman Academy is all about, and how are you helping women to do just that?
Woman to Woman Academy is all about helping women use their stories, their own personal stories, their life experiences, and their knowledge to build their own profitable business. So it comes right back to those tips. What we do is we actually we identify your signature story, pull out the lessons from those stories, craft your signature talk, and help you build an entire business around your story. So you get to have a business teaching what you already know. So it's not anything you have to learn to do, it's things you've already know, things you've already experienced. So it's like, it's fun. It's fun. It's fun when you don't have to go learn something to be able to do it because it's already inside of you. What we do is help you pull it out in a way that other people, your ideal clients, and everyone are able to receive it and take advantage of what you have to offer. I believe we all have something to share. And in working with the amount of women I've managed to work with over the years, I can tell you it doesn't matter who you are or where you are from. You have something that can benefit other people, and not only women. You know knowledge that can help men, that can help everyone. We all have something that other people can learn from. Look at Taria. Taria doesn't only deal with women. Taria deals with men and women. So
Yes. Well, Suzanne, and shout out to Risa, Taisha. We have them watching it as well. Anybody that's watching, go ahead and leave a comment so we can, put your comment on the page. But also, I think it's important too that all of us understand that we have a story to tell. Suzanne, a lot of times, and I'm sure with many of the clients that you've worked with, maybe they say, well, I'm waiting. I don't know if it's now the right time. And I always like, when I'm sharing like my story, I always like to share this slide where I show people that just like you, I've been through stuff. I've been through heartbreak. I've been through loss of loved ones. I've experienced watching people pass from cancer, multiple people. I've experienced betrayal. I've experienced, even great things, happiness. But, we've all experienced life. And the thing is that if you are alive today, regardless of your age, it's a guaranteed fact you've experienced something that someone else can relate to as well. And so I think it's very powerful. Now, let me just ask you this. So if somebody was to be a part of Woman to Woman Academy, overall, like what you gonna do? You gonna help me to get on the stage? I know you said it's just signature talk, but like what if I'm brand new, or if I've been speaking for a long time? Do you work with any and everyone that wants to speak? How do you identify that?
yes and no. I deal with women who they want more out of life. So I'll be honest, not everyone wants to be a speaker, and that is absolutely fine. I deal with people who are also aspiring coaches because to me, either way, you're going to speak somehow because you're either a speaker that coaches or you are a coach that speaks. So once we decide the direction you want to go and we package your lessons, your content, then we help you shift gears so you can decide, okay, my passion is more to focus on speaking. Or other people are passionate about the coaching standpoint because they want that one on one with people. But then there are those who really just want to take the stage. And that is absolutely the thing is, with this academy and the way we do things, we are able to tailor your business to suit you. So it's not that you're going to be just doing a bunch of stuff because it's just there. No, I believe in tailoring work to each individual person. So once you are in the academy, one of the things you are going to get is, first of all, a one on one session with me. That way, we are going to be able to identify the path you want to go. And then we are going to build out, structure your business together. So it's not going to be a guessing game. I'm sure we all hate guessing games. I don't know about you, but I hate guessing game. So when I am in something, I want to know, listen, this is what I want, or maybe at that point in time, your vision isn't absolutely clear. That's okay. That's what we're here for, to help you get the clarity you need. And what I've noticed is many times, not only are people thinking their story isn't important or no one is going to listen to them, but they're also thinking, I can't speak on the stage, or I can't do one on one coaching, or I can't do group coaching, or I can't do this. But once they get that next level clarity, so to speak, everything changes. So whether you think you want to be a speaker or you think you just want to be a coach, you know what? Once you get in and we help you get the clarity you need, everything is going to change for you.
Come on now. Listen, I love that. That is important because not all speakers come the same. I would never put myself in the boat of being a motivational speaker, but I do educate, and being able to educate and teach has made me a very happy woman. Okay, and it's not even about the money. It's because when being able to use your voice, and Suzanne, I'm sure you can agree, there's no better feeling in the world to know that when you were just speaking on a stage and somebody comes to you afterward and they're like, oh my God, just like how you shared, hearing someone's voice changed your life. And then they come to you and they say, oh my God, what you said, I can relate to. You just changed my life. I'm so inspired. It's y'all, I'm telling you, y'all all have to experience and feel that. It's no better feeling. Like it'll be times too, Suzanne, right? When I'll be on the stage, because I'm not, most of the time I'm not very like I have an outline, but sometimes I can go off the cuff. That's why I have to have an outline, because I get distracted.
Yeah.
And like I might say something, you be like, oh dog, I shouldn't have said that, right? But now I really start praying before I speak. I always ask God to please speak through me. But it's always those times where I'm like, oh Lord. And then somebody will come to me and be like, girl, oh my God. And so I just want to encourage any and everyone that might be thinking like, I don't know, if I should listen. There are all types and styles of speakers, all levels, different educators, motivators, any of that. So I definitely think you need to be plugging into what Suzanne has to offer. So I know you got some goodies for us. So tell us what's some goodies that we can get so we can kind of dip our fingers into this thing and see what you're doing.
You sure? I wonder.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yes. No. Give me all you got, please, Jesus.
Okay, Taria. So I do have something I want to share with you all. What I want to share with you all is my 5-step formula to share your story, your life experiences, and your knowledge to create the life, business, income, and impact you want. So what I want to invite you to do is to go to www.my5, as in the number 5, stepformula.com. www.my5stepformula.com, and you would be able to access that information. Once you put in your information, your name, your email, you are going to get access to that. Okay, Taria?
Hey. Yeah, well, thank you very much, darling. My 5-step formula. Thank you, Suzanne. We need all that we can get, guys. Let us know in the chat if you went ahead and took advantage of getting this, because we want you to be blessed. Now, again, if you're watching the replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay, but we are currently live right now. This is March the 15th, Wednesday, on Wealthy Wednesday. And so because we're about to wrap this thing on up, right? So maybe you have someone that's still a little hesitating. Maybe they're saying, Suzanne, y'all sound great. I don't know if I could ever speak like that. Maybe they're saying, you know what? I tried that before, but it didn't work for me. What last imparting words would you like to leave to our listeners? Whatever, let them use you, girl. What is he saying to? Because I know you're gonna take it away. Go ahead, girl. Go.
First of all, I want you to know that you matter. Nothing you have been through in vain. It's not meant to be in vain, and I don't want you to look at it as something just happened. Nothing happens by accident. I know that now. At one point in time in my life, I didn't know that. But everything we go through, there is a higher purpose to it. We are the ones that get to choose and decide that, you know what? I am going to do something with this. Wherever you are in your life right now, whether you are happy, whether you are sad, whether you are struggling, embrace it. Give thanks for it and know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And if nothing else, just know that, you know what? One day I am going to be able to use everything I am going through right now to impact other people's lives. One day I am going to come out on the other side of the tunnel and I'm going to be able to turn around and extend a hand to someone else who needs it. Because that's what you do when you share your story. When you share your story, you let other people know it's possible. My life doesn't have to be the way other people's lives have been. My life can be what I want it to be. It's possible. I can be a motivational speaker. It's possible. I can be someone to inspire others to do better. It's possible. I can be an author. It's possible my vision for my life can become a reality. Now, I am not saying this from a place of guessing. I'm saying this because it happened to me. I heard someone's story and it inspired me so much that I decided, you know what, I am going to do that. And if I can do that, if this little Caribbean girl can be doing so many big things out in the world today, I am telling you, there are limitless possibilities right now for your life. And I am asking you to answer the call on your life. You don't have to suffer anymore. You don't have to feel guilty anymore. You don't have to think you are a failure anymore because I can guarantee you that to someone out there, you are an inspiration. You are a success. That level you are at right now, there's someone that are still 5 steps behind you and they need you to be that guiding light for them. So I'm asking you to answer that call in your life. And when you're ready, hit me up.
Honey, I love it. I'm over here fired up. I love it. I love it because we're hearing of someone who pushed through. We're hearing a story of triumph. We're hearing a story of never giving up, even in the times where you wanted to give up. You still push through. And you know, sometimes God will just drop in as soon as we making the decision because he gives us the ability to choose and he'll drop on in and save us from ourselves. And so I love that story and I'm so grateful. Now make sure y'all type this in the chat. The number 5stepformula.com. Couple of things that I want to make sure that you do understand about Suzanne. She has amazing events that are taking place all throughout the year. Okay, so she's when you register to get that the free download of the My Step formula, you're also going to get the details of her up and coming events. Okay, you don't want to miss them. But then number 2, guess what she's always looking for? She's always looking for individuals that can be a part of her events, that can come and speak, that want to learn how to speak and then be a part of the event. So listen, make sure you guys go to My 5-Step Formula today so that you can be a part of her next event and plug in. Okay, so My 5-Step Formula, everybody that downloads that giveaway, y'all, what's going to happen is you're also going to get details about her next event. When you have a public speaking coach, baby, they always got events. So plug in. You know, she put out there that she was looking for speakers. And guess what? Your girl said, I'm interested. I want to be a speaker. And guess what? I'm going to be a speaker at her next upcoming event. And so you have to raise your hand. And I can tell you this, guys, you know, I was telling somebody the other day, I was talking about the fact that, you know, a lot of times people say, well, Taria, you speak, you know, when you speak, it just seems like it's easy for you. Child, you know how many times I did my presentation? Well over 1,000, guaranteed. Well over 1,000 times I've done my presentation over and over. I could literally do my presentation with my eyes closed. And so when I first got started, listen, you would have thought my mind sat back down. I got up and my mind sat down. I was so nervous. I didn't know what I was saying. I was messing up stuff, messing up the quotes, messing up the stats, jacked up. But guess what? I had to keep on pushing through. There used to be times I would get in front of audiences and I was looking to pitch a product or a service, and it would be 100 people in the audience. And I just knew I would at least get 5. I mean, come on. Not one person got started. There have been times where people have asked me to come and speak and they say, hey, you get this amount of time. And they say, nope, we need you to shorten it down about half your talk. And I had to tweak it and fix it. But if it wasn't for me investing into a coach that could help me with learning how to deliver my talk, I wouldn't be where I am today. And so individuals like Suzanne Peters, superstars like Suzanne Peters, superior coaches like Suzanne Peters are the ones that you want to plug into. So make sure, guys, again, that website is my5stepformula.com. Thank you, Kamika. Thank you, Suzanne. Y'all plug in. Listen, it has been a privilege and a pleasure to present to you guys another edition of our Wealthy Wednesdays. I really hope, see, this is what I'm trying to say. Look, I got to randomly say this. I put this microphone right here in the middle because, I see everybody do this on their podcasts and stuff. They be having their little microphone in the middle. So I keep hitting it. It does not. I want to put it back up where it's supposed to be because I can't have my mic over there. I be hitting it too much. I like to swing my hands. That's how I talk. And so, no, we ain't doing that no more. But y'all, Wealthy Wednesdays is definitely an opportunity for all authors. If you're a part of this incredible community of authors who have put their stories to paper and you're sharing it to the world, you first got to join Book Profits Club, but we want to have you on our next edition of Wealthy Wednesdays. Again, my name is Taria Vision Avant, and darling, we will see you next week at the same time on the same place. So I'm going to go ahead and play this nice little cute outro, and we out.